Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Okay. So today we will start with mini project. Okay. So good morning, everyone. Yeah. So I just wanted to go to the start.spring.io. So, but before that, I just wanted to go to the book. Okay. If- Yeah. Sorry for that, guys. Today, probably. Yeah, that is fine. Don't ping in the array. Don't make the Telegram channel popped up with lot of messages. Okay. Okay. That's fine, Akash. No problem. Um, see, the total idea over here is right. So right now, today, if you're not able to hear what I can do, I don't have any option. Uh, okay, next time I will make sure that if there is no power, then probably I will go to my company and I will take the call. Okay. For today, just bear with me for a few minutes. So today, I think probably you can share my, is my voice is clear to everyone right now? Is my voice is clear? Okay. Okay, fine then. Yeah. So probably if you just go and select any of this movie, I just wanted to click on movie book tickets, continue, Telugu. So here I have the GSM mall. I just wanted to select this. And if you see here, I'm just selecting a seat number 5. Okay, I'm just selecting the seat number 5. And if I just go and click on this pay, that fifth seat will be blocked. Even I do the payment or not, it will just make it blocked and it will not release that particular seat for anyone. Okay, so I just wanted to go back to this pay rupees 295, and then there will be a, so here I just wanted to calculate it, and probably it is taking me to the payment gateway. Okay. So here we need to enter all the details and everything. So right now, if you just see the book my show again, I just wanted to select the same seat again. So here, if you can see, I just wanted to click on book tickets, 2D, and then I'll just go to this JSM 940, and you can see that the fifth seat is blocked because the payment has not been done yet, but it is ready. It is actually, once we select that fifth seat and go forward, then probably what will happen, it will block that seat for a couple of minutes until the payment is done. Okay. If the payment is done, the seat will not be released because it is already booked. If the payment is unsuccessful or if the payment has not been done, then probably this seat will be released after a couple of minutes. So that's the total idea. Let's say if I just wanted to select sixth seat as well, and if I just click on the pay rupees, accept, and then if I just go back, and here when I select the pay total amount, accept, and here you can see that and now let's go to the book my show again and go to this movie again. And I just wanted to click on the book tickets, continue, and then Telugu. And then I just wanted to go to the GSM mall again and see the sixth seat has been blocked again. See here, this seat is blocked. Okay, so that's the total idea. Now what we can do, I'll just go to the book my show again, and I just wanted to show some couple of details over here to you all. So here, if you see here, we have the animal movie. This is the rating. And in which languages it is available, the length of the movie, the genre of the movie, and the type of certificate provided by the movie, and the release date. Okay, so all these details we do have inside the book my show, right? So for our specific choice, since we do have the booking service, so what I can simply do, I can just have one entity which is a booking entity. Okay, so for this booking entity, I just have to create some fields. Got it? So first one is booking ID. So I just wanted to make sure that this is a type of UUID. Anyone knows about UUID first of all? Anyone? Anyone knows about UUID? Yeah, generator for random ID it is okay, but why we need to use UUID? Any specific idea? Yeah, it is used to generate a random number, Neha. So probably we need to use UUID when we are actually working with microservices because here each and every service will have its own database. That means there is something called database per service pattern. Anyone knows about this microservices architecture patterns? Anyone? Database per service pattern and all this kind of things, right? Exactly the same. So here, if you just ask me, we don't have to maintain a single database for all the services. Let's imagine we do have 20 plus services and 20 plus services are going to have a single database. Let's imagine inside the single database, we do have 30 plus tables or 40 plus tables. What happens? There will be relationships between the tables. And relationships basically slows down the application performance. Do you know about this? If you have a relation, anyone knows about that? If you have a long relation, that means entity is dependent on another entity and that entity is itself dependent on another entity and so on. If you have the nested relationships, then probably we do have to use JPA mappings and all these kind of things. 1 second, I think my Wi-Fi is back, so I will just connect to the Wi-Fi. Okay, is that okay? I just wanted to connect through Wi-Fi again. Yeah. Okay. It did not came yet, so I need to wait for 1 minute. Yeah, I think it is already there. I'm back. Can you see my screen? I think voice is pretty much clear to everyone now. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so what we do have the booking ID, and then probably we can have the user ID over here, and then so here if you see over here, we do have a movie name, we do have a movie rating, we do have the movie genre, and the movie type, the certificate given to the movie, and the release date, right? So instead of defining all those fields, I can just take just a movie ID. Will that be fine? Because it has everything, right? Yes, right. Okay. And then followed by, we do have something called list of string sets seats selected. And then we do have local date, show date, local time is the show time. And I just wanted to maintain a booking status. And this is a enum. This is a enum. I'll tell you what are all the statuses that we can maintain. And then finally, I just wanted to maintain the booking amount. For now, we will just use this fields. Okay, so these are all the fields. And then probably we do have a payment service. Okay, so what we need to do inside the payment service again. So we do have to maintain the payments database also, right? So probably we do have to give this booking ID and the user ID to the payment service also, because once we do the payment, we have to recognize for which booking ID the payment has been done and for which user the payment has been done, correct? So we need to consider all those kind of cases. Right now, so inside the payment service, what type of fields that we can do have, right? So probably I can take um, so payment entity. So here I can just take, I think, UUID again for the payment ID. Okay. And then followed by UUID, booking ID. So since there will be no relationships between the tables, because booking service will have its own database bookings, and the payment service will have its own database called payments. So here what we can actually do, we can have the booking ID, same like this. This will be fine. And here we do have something called a payment status. Okay. So this is also an enum again. And what is the payment amount? So double payment amount. And then local date time, payment times time. That means when the payment has been done, all these kind of things. Got it? No, Murli. So let me explain you the scenarios, okay? So let's say you have already blocked a seat and you have actually created a booking, right? So booking ID is created only once. And that, see, once we are actually doing the payment, for which type of booking and for which type of user we are actually doing the payment, that information has to be there, right? It cannot be different booking ID, correct? Yeah, that's the only thing. See, let's say if you have, let's say if you just wanted to go to this, see, I will just show some existing, so right now you will understand. So once we click on book tickets and do the payment, booking ID will be same for the booking database, and also payment database also has the booking ID, because for which type of booking we are actually storing. Yeah, no, there is no association mapping. So that's what I'm saying. Why I'm actually taking booking entity and payment entity as separate entities, because here we don't have to deal with relationships. That's the reason I'm maintaining UUID in the world of microservices. But probably we will do some JPA mappings also. But right now that is not required for the mini project. For the major project, we do have to design a lot of entities where there will be a lot of relationships. But here, there also will be using the database per service pattern. But here the total idea is, since this booking entity will not have any relationship with this payment entity. So that's the reason, if you just store the same booking ID inside this payment entity database payments, so we will identify that, hey, this payment is actually done for this booking ID. So that is the kind of relationship that we need to establish using UUID. So that's the total idea modeling. Yeah. So in the world of microservices, we need to use UUID across all the microservices. That's the total idea. Okay. And now, so I think this is all done. So what we can do initially, we can just go to this start.spring.io. And we'll just add the dependencies. But before that, com.movie.ticket.booking. So right now, first of all, what we will do, we will develop the microservices separately without using Maven multi-module project. But we'll also see the disadvantages of using microservices separately. Got it? So that's the total idea. So com.movie.ticket.booking.system. And here I just wanted to call this as booking service. So this is the artifact ID and this is a group ID. Okay. Yes, Suresh.
I think you explained about the UUID. What exactly you are using for here? For
Yeah.
uniquely.
Okay. So you are actually having some idea on databases.
Yeah, primary
Yeah.
key.
Okay.
Yeah, every table.
Yeah, primary key, and all this kind of things, right? So let's say I just wanted to maintain integer over here instead of UUID. Okay. So let me say you the disadvantage. So when you actually store this booking entity, that means if booking details are created, then probably booking ID will have the auto-generated value, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So booking ID will be 1, correct? Now,
Yes.
if I just save the payment entity also, your payment ID will be 1, correct?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I save this booking ID over here, it will also be 1 over here because we are passing the booking ID directly from the booking service to the payment service.
Yeah,
Got
correct.
it? Because there is no relationship, because this database is different and this database is different for services.
Yeah, correct. So what is the advantage of having UUID? Integer
Yeah,
also?
that's what that's what I am just coming to that point. Okay. So here, let's say if you're also having this number as integer. So right now, if you just see the table, right? So payment ID, booking ID will be 1 and 1. And in future, there are so many microservices coming. So automatically their UUI, so if you don't wanted to maintain UUIDs, if you just wanted to maintain another reference, let's say, transaction ID also has 1. Okay. So then everything will be 1, 1, 1, 1, all these kind of things. When we are actually, generating the response, we will not be able to identify what is this one and what is that one. See, anyhow, in the JSON property, we will be saying that this is a booking ID and this is a payment ID, but it is not visually correct because we need to maintain some good view whenever we are going to see the booking ID or the user ID. Correct? See, basically, this is visually, see, when you are actually seeing the payment database, it has payment ID 1 and a booking ID 1, right? Correct or not?
Yes,
So
yes.
let's say right now only these 2 fields are only there. In future, there can be a finance ID or there can be account ID, there can be transaction ID also. In that case, you can't maintain 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 for every time, right? See, basically, if you are seeing that simple thing, you can see 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever it is. When the transactions are getting increased, then probably it will change 11, 12, 13, like
Good
something
idea
like
to
that.
have
But
a uniquely.
yeah, so it is always good to maintain UUID because it actually has a millions of generations for generating this kind of unique structures. So that's the total idea why we need to go for UUID. And also, it's always good to, let's say I just wanted to revert this. So let's say, right now you have created a UUID. That means automatically it will be generated. We'll see that how it is getting generated and all this kind of things. So here, this booking ID will be passed as a JSON object to the payment service because it has to do the payment where it has the booking amount also, right? So while doing the payment, so payment ID will be automatically generated, but booking ID is already generated. We are passing it to the payment service. So that booking ID will be stored inside this payment database table, booking ID, whatever the booking ID has been generated in the booking service. So we are storing that. So here we are exceptionally maintaining a relationship between the payment as well as the booking, correct? But there is no relationship between both the tables. That's the total idea. And one more advantage is here, if you don't have any relationships, the database retrieval also will be very much fast.
Oh, okay. So basically, you are trying to avoid the duplication, like is that correct?
Not only the duplication,
chance
but
of duplication is very less if you use
yes, yeah. And also, let's say right now, booking entity and payment entity are separate entities. That means they belong to separate databases, correct? Let's say right now they are a part of the same database. Now, if I have to get the booking details, then probably I do have to maintain the payment entity also over here, right? Correct or not? So there will be some kind of,
entity.
one-to-one relationship, something like that. But here, what happens is, let's say if you are just going to get the booking entity, it has to retrieve the payment entity details also. So here, when we are actually retrieving the booking entity, it is also retrieving the payment entity details. That means for one operation, it is fetching another database table informations also, correct or not? So
Now,
here we do have a relationship.
if any field is common in the booking.
No, not any field in the common. See, right now, if I just have to get the booking details, I can get these details, correct?
Yes.
But if I have to get the booking details along with payment details, what we need to do? We do have to provide a relationship between booking entity and the payment entity, right?
Yeah, correct. Because, yeah, correct.
Yeah. So here we don't have to do that because for our scenario, payment service will have its own separate related payments, and booking service will have its creating the booking details directly in the database. So we don't have to maintain relationship. But in order to, let's say whenever we are going to retrieve the payment details, it will see that, hey, for this booking ID, the payment has been done. That's it. So we will automatically see the relationship between the booking entity and the payment entity, even though they are not related to each other, correct? This is what I was saying. Do
Yeah,
you know
because
the
both are
relationship
unique
between
values.
foreign key and the primary key?
So that relationship is shown because they have unique value, or how do you say they have?
Yeah, right now, if you see the booking ID, this has a unique value and this has also a unique value, right?
Oh, got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
understood.
Now, when you pass this booking ID to this payment service, the booking ID will be stored here automatically, which was generated in booking service, right? But payment ID will be different. So
Yeah,
here
yeah.
we will identify that, hey, this booking ID is already created, and for this booking ID, the payment has been done. That's it. So that
This
is how we
way
actually see the
it avoid the
relationship. Yeah.
confusion and
Right,
make
right, right. Exactly. Right, exactly. And also, you know about the primary key and foreign key relationships, right?
Yeah. One same key will
So,
be referred. Yeah.
yeah. So here there will be no relationships between the booking entity and the payment entity because here there is no concept of primary key and foreign key relationships. Because we are
Oh,
using UUID, there is no requirement to maintain the relationship. Because that's what I'm saying. This is just to fast up our retrieval operations. If there is a relationship, obviously the query performance will be slow.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so that's the total.
Because you want to have both the service as unique service. You don't want to have any dependency. That's why.
No. Yes, that's what. Yeah.
You don't want to have any relationship between these two entities.
Right, exactly. So payments table will be present inside the payments DB, and bookings table will be present inside the bookings DB.
Yeah, got you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so now I think probably I can just keep this as booking service for now. I just wanted to call this as a service. And jar var, so self the margin. So here I just wanted to add some couple of dependencies. One is a web, and another one is JPA. We need to add MySQL and Lombok to generate getters and setters, constructors, toString equals and hash code for reducing the boilerplate code. And then probably we can have some validation. And so what are all the other dependencies? We can also use OpenFeign. And I think these are all the things which are actually required. I think we are good with this, right? So probably I can click on generate. Yeah, so here I just wanted to copy this. Go to the desktop. So here I just wanted to paste it. Just wanted to extract all. So once this is done, just go inside this booking service and open this booking service. Show more options and open with ID. Eureka server is different, right? Eureka server is a separate server. That has to be a separate service only. I think DevTools we can keep it later, not a problem. Yeah. Yeah, they are two different databases. Okay. So right now I can just open this. Okay. So now here what we can do, we can just yeah. So here I just wanted to create some couple of packages. So right now we do have a booking service application. And I just wanted to create a new package. I just wanted to call this as entities. And next, I just wanted to create a new package, DTOs. And the next package, I just wanted to call this as APIs. That means it is basically a controllers. And I just wanted to call this as .services and repositories. And another package. So what are all the other packages that we can have? IPS DTOs handlers. So this is basically for exception handling. And some kind of utilities. So here what I can do, I can just add utilities. Utility classes, okay, to do some conversions between DTO to entity and entity to DTO. And next, I think these are all enough. APS, DTOs, entities, handlers, repositories, services, utilities. Any other things? Mappers, I think that is basically for utilities. P and RAW. Config is not required because we are not going to write any configuration classes right now, Akash. The config is not required because config is basically used whenever we are writing configuration classes. When we are using Spring Boot, we don't have to write configuration classes until unless it is required. Okay. Okay. So
Any data you store in JSON file or anything?
Sorry?
Any input, output data or test data?
Yeah, so here DTOs will be the place, right? So inside DTOs, we can actually give our request, response, all this kind of things. Okay, yeah. We will add more if anything is needed. Okay. So right now, I just wanted to go to this and wanted to create a booking entity. Okay, so here what we can do, we can just use some basic annotations. One is the @entity. Anyone knows about these annotations? Because we have already discussed about this, right?
Table name.
Yes. So booking table, that's it. And then probably I will just copy those fields, whatever I have created. For now, we'll just use this. Later on, we will add more if you wanted any details. But right now, we are not using UI for this. Only for the major project, we'll be going with the UI, okay? From java.util. This is from java.time. This is also from java.time. And here, I need to create enums. There has to be a enums package. I'll tell you what enums are basically used for. Anyone knows about enums? We define constant values over there. Okay, so here I just wanted to create an enum booking status. Okay, so here I just wanted to. So whenever we create a booking, right? So initially it will be in the pending state, correct? So whenever we create a booking, until the payment is done, we cannot say that booking is confirmed, correct? So we'll initially, store the booking status as pending only. And then probably we do have something called, what are all the statuses that we can have? Anyone? So pending is there. Any inputs from anyone?
Completed or
Hmm.
reserved.
Completed and yeah. Any other things? Just think about it and tell me. No problem. Take your time. We can have,
Incomplete. No.
mhm,
Pending. Cancel.
mhm, okay. Pending, yes, cancelled. Okay.
Accept.
See only in terms of booking. So booking status is pending, booking status is cancelled, booking status is confirmed whenever the payment is done, correct? And we can also use a refund in case person has to cancel his booking, correct? I think these are all the statuses which are required. Enough? Good with this? I think so. There are so many things. Payment is pending or not yet received. Yeah. So for that, we will be actually doing the cancellation. So if the payment is not received or payment is failed, then probably we will make the booking status as cancelled. Okay. And if the payment is successful, we can make the booking status as confirmed. And if person has to cancel his booking, then probably we will change that to the refund. Okay. Refunded. Something like that. I think probably we can refund initiated. And what is the other one? Refund computed. I think we can actually keep refund completed instead of initiation. I think this will be fine. Okay. Good, right? So can just go to this booking entity and we can just import that booking status over here. So now we do have to add some annotations. So here, I think for everything I need to add private. So yeah. So here we can actually use @ID to generate, to make this property as a primary key column inside the bookings table. And we do have generated value. So where we can use a strategy called the UUID strategy. So here we can select the UUID. And here you can just, so here it's better to add column names also, even though that is not mandatory, but I will tell you what is the problem if you don't have this column names. Okay, so better to maintain columns. And here I just wanted to make this as a user ID. I just wanted to make this as a movie_ID. Yeah, for this, what I need to do. So what type of annotation that I can use? Anyone? What type of annotation we can use for this? Murali, in no sense. Okay. See, right now, if we are going to create a booking ID, then probably we need to give the seats, whatever the seats are getting selected by the user. So we need to pass that as a array or a list, right? So basically we will not be selecting one single seat, right? There can be a number of seats. So if that is the case, what type of annotation that we need to use so that this seats selected will be stored inside the database as comma separated values. So what type of annotation we can use? There is something called @element collection. Okay. So you need to use this @element collection so that a separate table will be created along with it. So right now bookings table is already there. Okay. If bookings table is already there, there will be another table which will be created, but we will see how these tables are getting created and how the data is getting stored and all these kind of things. So here, I just wanted to create column. The name is show_time. See, for even if it is a list or a set, we need to use @element collection. Basically, what it will do, it will create a separate table where it will maintain the booking ID as well as the seat. That means booking ID and the seat, booking ID and the seat. Let's say if the user has selected 3 seats, booking ID is 1, then seat is S3, and then booking ID is 1, seat is S4. Booking ID is 1 and seat is S5. So that is how a separate table will be created. Yes, this is a collection mapping, correct. So here, you can just use, yeah, I think Suresh, I think no need to raise your hand because once you see the data storage, then probably you'll understand why we have used @element collection and why we need to use only @element collection for which cases of scenario. So once we see the data insertion in the table, then probably we can understand from that. Okay. So this is a show_, sorry, this is a time, right? So probably the above one is a date. Okay. And then probably we do have @column. And so here we cannot use column because this is the enum, right? So for enum, we do have something called enumerated. Yeah, sure. Sure, Akash. Yeah. So here we do have something called enumerated.string. Okay. So we are actually using this values as string values. Okay. So we will store these values in database as string. So that's the reason. Whenever you are using enums, you just have to make this as @enumerated and you have to use enum type as string only. Okay. So, and for this, name equal to booking_amount. That's it. So I think we are all done. Okay. So let me minimize this. Yeah. So right now, I have not generated a getter and setter. So let me do that one as well. So there is something called @getter, @setter, @equals and hash code, toString. So instead of using all these annotations, we can just use @data, which will generate all these kind of things. @data. That's it. Got it? Yeah. Thanks, Murli. Yeah. So here, and we need to use @allocs constructor and @noaux constructor. That's it. Fine. And also we need to use @builder, but we will see why we need to use builder and all these kind of things later on. But right now, we'll just keep it as it is. Okay. So right now the booking entity is done. So we just have to create a booking DTO. Booking DTO. And here, I just wanted to copy the same fields. Copy the same set of fields. And go inside the booking DTO and copy paste over here. We don't have to use this. We don't have to use columns. Okay. And you can just use @data, @allocs constructor, @noaux constructor. That's it. Very simple. Okay. The next thing, what we need to do, we just have to create a booking API. So what is the shortcut you are using to delete a single row? Control X, Akash. Okay. Thank you. I'll tell you. Okay, you can ask whatever the questions that you have. Okay. Thank you, Akash. So here I just wanted to maintain this as REST controller and followed by @request mapping. So here I just wanted to give this as bookings itself. Bookings is the URL. And here I just wanted to create public void create booking. And to this create booking, I just have to make this as @post mapping because we need to create the booking, right? That means we are actually creating a resource in the database. So we need to make this as a post mapping. So to the post mapping, we always have to pass the JSON. So how we can actually accept the JSON for the booking DTO, we can have to annotate that with @request body and give our DTO. That's very simple. Now this is done. Okay. Now we have to define a service. So I will just define an interface. So booking service. And here I just wanted to create the same type of method, public void create booking. And here I can take the booking DTO as the input. And here I just wanted to create one IMPL package so that I can create an implementation class for this. Create a package, IMPL, and create a class booking service IMPL. So this has to implement the booking service. And now it has to create the booking. So inside this, we don't have to do anything for now, but we can just use the basic annotation called @service to create an object for this particular class. That's it. And now coming to the repositories, we have to define an interface, which is booking repository. This is a DAO, okay? But in Spring Boot, we call it as a repository. So repository is like a storage. So here we just have to extend this with the thread repository. And here I can just give the, the entity, the booking entity for which entity we are going to create a repository, right? So here we can use the booking entity. And what is the primary key type? UUID. So basically you can just use this UUID over here. That's it. Now this is also done. Okay. So now if you just wanted to annotate this with @repository, you can do it, but this is not mandatory. This is optional from recent versions. Okay. And I just wanted to close all tabs. And now what we can do, we can just go to this booking API. Yeah. So utilities, what we can actually do over here. DTO validation add. Sure, Akshay, we'll add that one. Okay. So let's go to the booking DTO. And here I just have to, so this is optional. We don't have to pass the booking ID. We have to pass the booking ID only. So this is optional. But right now we can also delete this. This is not required. Okay. I think this is fine. And now I just wanted to add some couple of validations over here. So here there is something called @not null. So there is a message. And here what we need to do. So user ID is mandatory. Okay. And copy the same thing. So since we cannot use @not null, because @not null, that means this is basically integer class, right? Null will also be accepted, but here we need to give a value, right? So it has to be greater than one. Then there is something called @positive. So if you see this annotation, so the annotated element must be strictly a positive number. That means a zero is considered as an invalid value. Can you see this? So zero is considered as an invalid value. So it is always has to be greater than zero. Okay. So if I just wanted to go to this, we'll just make sure that please provide a movie ID. That's it. And then, so here, this is a list, right? So what we can do, we can just use @not null. So this does not has to be null. So instead of not null and not empty, right? This does not has to be empty. So we can use not blank. So basically not blank will make sure that, so here, if you see this, the annotated element must not be null and must contain at least one non-white space character. That means, what does it mean? That means the list does not has to be null, and also list must contain at least some values inside it. So that's the total idea. So if you just go inside this, probably you need to select at least one seat, create a booking. That's it. Something like that. Okay. And then probably what we can do, we can also use @not blank for this. So if it is a UI, we don't have to do these validations because we don't have a UI. So we have to do the validations for testing. Okay. So not blank. So probably what we can do, please provide. Okay. Select the show date. Select the show time. And @column. Sorry. Not null. So we can use null for this. So right now this is required actually. This is actually required. Anyone? This does not has to be null, right? So we need to give the value for this. Okay. So message. Yeah. So right now, if you see this booking status, this is not at all required because this will be internally generated by the booking service as booking service only. So right now, this is not required. I'm just removing this from here. Okay. Make sense? Because booking status, we will not be passing it. Internally, it has to be generated by the booking service itself. No. Anyhow, the initial value will be pending, but that will be decided by the booking service only. Okay, we'll just make it to pending, but even after the payment and after the payment is successful or cancelled, then probably based on that we will be making that as confirmed or rejected. Okay, so that's the total idea. So here, I think for the booking amount, so again positive value. Booking amount is mandatory. Okay. Hope these are good enough. And for all these annotations, so probably what we can do, we can actually go to this handler and create one booking API handler. So here I just wanted to mark this as @REST controller advice. And here I need to create some methods. Public void for now. Method argument. What is the name? Method argument. Not valid exception. So this is the kind of exception that if any of these values are not given in the JSON, then probably method argument not valid exception will come. Okay, so copy this one and go to your booking API handler, method argument not valid exception. So here I can just give that one. So here I just wanted to mark this as @exception handler. Class. That's it. Now what we can do, yes, if any of the value is missed, then probably it will not go to the controller. It will come to this particular handler if any of the values are missed. Akash. Okay. So right now, I'll just log that exception for now. So right now, we don't have to use system.out.println. We do have something logged @SLF4J. This is basically allowing us to add a loggers. So log dot. Right now, I just wanted to do an info and then exception dot get message. That's it. Okay. So can we do the initial validation first of all? So what we can do, so since we have not added any information of the database, so let's delete this one. And also let's create application.yaml file. Application.yaml. So here, so I just wanted to give server. So for this booking service, I just wanted to maintain some port numbers. So here I just wanted to maintain, 9090 for booking service and 9091 for payment service. Okay. So I just wanted to give the Spring application.name. So here I just wanted to call this as a booking service. Okay. And there's something called spring.jpa. Okay. So spring.jpa what happened? Sorry, spring.data source, right? Yeah. Start URL. So here I will be using the JDBC colon MySQL colon /localhost colon 3306. But later on we will replace this with the Docker. Okay. But right now I just wanted to do this. So here bookings database. If there is no booking, so create database if not exist equal to true. Very simple. And then username is root. Password is this one. And then probably we do have JPA. Show SQL as true. This format SQL. So sorry, show SQL is true, and then okay, we do have DDL in Hibernate. So let me see what are all the things are there. Inside this, I do have Yes, hibernate. So TDL auto and always use update. That's it. I think we are all good with this. Yes. Okay. So I think this is enough, and probably what we can do, we can just go and run this application. And also we need to make sure that booking entity is correct. Okay, everything is good. Okay. And then probably I will start the application now. Just run this application and see if you are going to face any issues. Yeah, I think it has created, yes. Okay, so it has created the table, but let's see the table, how the table looks like. So bookings, tables. So let me drop this because there is already a bookings table over here. So drop the schema and rerun that again. Okay, there is a payments database also. Okay, drop schema, drop now. And just run this application again. Just run this application again and we'll see. Yeah. So now see the database. Yeah. So bookings, tables. So can you see this? Bookings table has been created. So booking ID, booking amount, booking status, movie ID, show date, show time, user ID. Yeah, we will add that later section, but that is not mandatory right now. Okay. Yeah. So it will automatically restart, right? Yeah. That's fine. So, and then you can see that there is a booking entity seat selected. There is another table created. Can you see this? So here booking entity, booking ID will be there and the seat selected. So here, let's say if booking ID 1 has 3 seats, then probably there will be 3 rows. Booking ID 1 with seat selected as 3, booking ID 1 seat selected as 4, and booking ID 1 seat selected as 5. Okay, so this is how this is actually going to maintain, and that is the kind of annotation that I have used over here in the booking entity. So this is the annotation that we need to use. So if you are using list of string or set of string, then probably element collection is the best fit to create another table which has the booking ID with the combination of seats selected. So that's the total idea. Okay. Yes, right. That's the collection mapping. Correct, Akash. Okay. I think that's all. So for today, I think it's almost been 10:20. So probably we will resume from the same step where we have actually stopped. But initially we will be, yes, Suresh.
So you have, I saw some annotation, right? Where the data has, I don't know, contains something. What is that?
Which one?
Now you getter and setter, you replace with
Yeah,
the data, right? So along with getter and data, we have few more. And one of
yeah,
them
equals
is
hash code, toString, all
okay.
these kind of things. So instead
Yes.
of adding all those annotations, at the
Mhm.
rate data itself has toString, setter,
Yes,
getter, and equals and hash code. Yeah, yeah. So we can add at the rate data simply.
and you mentioned some like for example at positive you mentioned some message, right?
Yeah,
So
because since we cannot use at the rate not null or at the rate not empty, because integers cannot be null or it cannot be empty, right? Those are numbers at the
so
end.
in that case you don't have
So
to write unit test, right, for those
no,
messages.
you don't have to write unit test because those are pre-validations for the controllers.
So when you enter, so when the message will be displayed, like it should be
When the message will be displayed. I think we
no
have already discussed
when I can
this.
see that message, how will test that
No.
basically?
Probably if you can see the user registration service that we have done, right?
Mhm.
We have actually written some controllers, exception handlers, and all
Oh,
these kind
okay.
of
So when
things.
you pass the parameter, that time it will display the message, correct?
Yes, right. But basically, it will not hit the controller first. It will basically check these values whether they are correct or not. First of all, if they are correct, then only controller endpoint will be hit.
If there is value, if the value is not correct, then you get message,
Then probably it will go to the exception handler. I
and
think we
then
have already seen this, Suresh. I think,
okay, got it. Yeah.
yeah, okay. You can just check that user registration service, which is already there in GitHub.
Mm-hmm.
So just execute that one,
No,
you
no,
will come to
no, I
know.
was just trying to see the message thing. Okay, so
But
it
yeah,
will display in the exception along with the
yeah,
message,
it will
right?
be displayed. But anyhow, we will be testing the scenarios also, right? So
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
you don't
Okay.
have to worry. I will
Thank you.
tell the things again and again. Yeah. Okay, then, guys. Okay, so that's all for today, and probably I will meet you tomorrow, and we will resume from the same step, whatever we have stopped from today. Okay. Yeah. Have a great day and happy learning to you all. Bye.